International Yoga Day is here, 21st. We will all be celebrating the International Day of Yoga. But then what is yoga? Actually, it is not yoga, it is yoga. Yoga, we know that it has 8 limbs: yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. So we must learn first what is yoga, and the answer to that is very simple and clear. Yoga is to connect with God. Yoga is to connect with divine. If we don't understand that meaning, that means everything that we are doing has no connection with this divine realm, the spiritual realm, the godly realm. So first of all, we should revise the knowledge that who are we? Do we understand that we are just not the body, but much beyond that? So the real knowledge of yoga would demand a thorough understanding of our personality that is so beautifully described in this chariot analogy. That, for example, in the chariot, there is a body of the chariot, and then there are the 5 horses, and then there is a charioteer, and then there is a passenger. So the Upanishad says the 5 horses are the 5 senses. You know, the 5 senses are driving us: the hearing, the smelling, the taste, the touch, and the seeing, the sight. Eyes, nose, tongue, skin, and ears. These are the organs, and there are 5 associated senses with this, which are called Jnanendriya. So these senses are depicted by these horses. So these horses are pulling us in a certain direction. And then there is a charioteer who is holding a rope. So this rope is described to be the mind, and the charioteer is compared to the intellect. And the passenger who is sitting in the chariot is the soul. So to repeat, the 5 senses are the 5 horses, the mind is the rope, and the charioteer is the intellect, and the passenger is the soul, and the body of the chariot is our body, the physical body. So every chariot has a destination. So what is the destination of this chariot? So this chariot, the destination is actually God. And what is the definition of God? Sat Chit Anand. We have known God from our childhood, that He is the ultimate bliss, He is the ultimate knowledge, and that's why we call Him Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhus Cha Sakha Tvameva, Tvameva Vidya Cha Dravinam Tvameva, Tvameva Bandhus Mam Deva Deva. O Lord, You are the Supreme Mother alone, You alone are the Supreme Father, You alone are the Supreme Brother, You alone are the Supreme Friend, You alone are the supreme knowledge, You alone are the supreme wealth, and You alone are the supreme all in all. That brings the subject of God so vividly important, and some entity which cannot be brushed aside. But what we do when we endeavor to practice yoga, we just don't connect in a divine way, in a spiritual way, but the real yoga would be the one in which we connect to God. So even if you read Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, it's about yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. Yam, niyam are the personal and the social rules. Pranayam, asan are the physical exercises and the breathing techniques. Pratyahar is the control over our desires. Dharana, dhyan, samadhi. Dhyan is the efforts, our endeavor, when we start meditating on that Supreme, on that Absolute Truth, on that God. And dharana, when our endeavors become regular, our mind automatically gets drawn to that Supreme Reality. That is the dharana stage, and the samadhi stage is the stage of perfection, where the mind is completely absorbed in the divine realm. That is the real achievement when the mind is established. This is what is called the state of sthit pragya in Bhagavad Gita. So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na Shochati na Kankshati. This is what Bhagavad Gita states, that once a person has entered this state, he is neither hankering or lamenting. Because our trouble is, either we are hankering or lamenting. We are always desiring what we have not obtained as yet, and we are always lamenting what we have not obtained as yet, and we are always hankering what we are wanting to obtain. In the process, either we are living in the past or we are living in the future. We are not living in the present. But a sthit pragya mind, a mind which is established in yoga, is a mind which is contented, which is divine, which is peaceful, which is undisturbed, etc., etc. So that is the knowledge of yoga that we need to establish. And the asana and pranayam are the two limbs which are very important. When we do breathing techniques like Kapalbhati, like Bhastrika, Brahmari, Ujjayi, all these pranayam techniques are so wonderful. They expand our prana and we gain health. Similarly, when we do exercises, we get rid of the rigidity in the body. We become flexible. We shed unnecessary fats, etc. Great benefits, but it all emanates from the mind. The Manomaya Kosh, then the Pranamaya Kosh, and then the Annamaya Kosh, the body. So if the mind is disturbed, the prana will get disturbed, and then the body gets afflicted with all kinds of, diseases, etc. So that is the importance of mind. And we have repeatedly said, the mind needs to be controlled. And the mind is our greatest enemy, and the mind could be our greatest friend. Uddared atman atmanam na atmanam avashadayet. Atmanaiva yatmano bandhuratmaiva ripuratmanaha. Bhagavad Gita says in the 6th chapter, the mind is your greatest friend and the mind is also your greatest enemy. It depends how you are dealing with your mind. So that is the message of Bhagavad Gita, and in one sentence, if we remember the words of Bhagavad Gita, that is the chapter 8, Shloka number 7. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanushmar yudhyacha. Krishna is telling Arjun, do your duties diligently, honestly, sincerely, with all your potential, but then connect your mind to God, connect your mind to divine. Then your work is a real yoga. That's the message of the group that we have for this international celebration of the Yoga Day. Thank you so much. See you soon.